This Tim Burchett thing. So Tim Burchett has recently been talking about this, and that he can't talk about it because it's classified. But he said you'd be up at night with the things that I've seen, if the things that I've seen have released. Yeah. He said we just needed to disclose it all. I'm sick of it. Well, I was briefed, and I will tell you this. I was briefed last week on an issue, or 2 weeks ago, and it would have set the earth on. This country would have become unglued, I think, if they would have heard all that I heard.
Well, this is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
If, it's not like there's a bunch of space brothers coming down going, oh, look what we discovered, here, have some information. And, what if it's not that? What if all the information is bad?
Well, what would be bad? Like, have you ever thought about this? Tried to, play it out to its natural conclusion? Like, what do you think the scenarios could be that's bad?
I don't know. Everything that look, we view ourselves at the top of the food chain. What if we're not anywhere near there?
I don't think we are.
Okay. What if we're just consumables?
Well, I don't know if, chimpanzees are consumables, right? They're not at the top of the food chain either, right? But
no, but there's... I would consider them substantially lower than we are.
Right.
Like my good friend that died, John Lear, who had a bunch of crazy thoughts. I mean, he used to come over and tell us that, on the moon there was a soul sucker. And when you... He did. He said this, you better give me that bottle.
Have another drink before you explain this one. Oh, boy. A soul sucker.
Yeah.
John Lear was an eccentric individual. I'm kind of sad I never met him.
Man, he was...
Supporting evidence?
He was a...
What? Terrence McKenna talking about the moon being a soul catcher?
Oh, my. Yeah. No, and he'd give me pictures of these giant antennas on the moon. And in fact, I'll tell you a story. He, he was an accomplished pilot, had many world records and things of that, part of the Lear family, that his father invented autopilot, the 8-track tape, all kinds of stuff. And but John Lear was a loose cannon. At the time, he'd fly from Las Vegas and shuttle L-1011s, which are giant planes, back and forth. And he'd say, be kind of lonely. He goes, hey, you want to go to Minneapolis tonight? He'd call me at 9 o'clock at night and say, well, no, not really. Come on, fly with me. He said, just put on a suit and, come to so-and-so. And I'd go to McCarran Airport and, go there. And, I'm going to tell everybody you're, an inspector from the FAA. And I went, okay, great. And I'd get on the plane and they said, just act like you're, going to kick everyone's ass. So I go on there and I'd sit they fold down a jump seat behind the plane and I just sit there looking at everybody and God, all this stuff is so illegal. And, get on there and fly and, John would take, and the L-1011 was a pretty advanced plane at the time. This was in the 80s. And, John would be smoking his pipe. He'd take off. He'd put his feet up and smoke his pipe, and he'd fall asleep. And I'd just be, hanging out there. And, before the plane would land, he'd just, wake up and, be smoking his pipe, and the, plane would land itself.